It's not working. The Federal Reserve emergency rescue plan has not ended the banking panic. The widespread panic that we just witnessed is definitely not what the bureaucrats at the Fed Reserve are anticipating, Michael Snyder reports. Following the second largest bank collapse in U.S. history on Friday and the third largest bank collapse in U.S. history on Sunday, the Federal Reserve unveiled an unprecedented rescue plan that was supposed to end the banking panic. If you've not seen it yet, you can view the details on the official website of the Federal Reserve in the link here. The most important part of the plan is the Fed's decision to fully guarantee all of the deposits of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. As Goldman Sachs CEO Lloyd Blankfein explained on Twitter, this bold course of action was supposed to have removed reasons for bank runs. He tweets, "A few banks may have issues like SVB, but only a few. Government actions removed reasons for bank runs because banks have much tougher regulations and stress testing, anxiety and volatility high, but sharply lower interest rates, Fed likely on hold, are strong positives for markets." But there was just one problem: this did not work. Right now, social media is being flooded with messages from ordinary Americans that withdrew money from their bank accounts on Monday. And here's one example. Johnny7 tweets, "This morning I began withdrawing my money out of my bank account at Wells Fargo. It's going to take several days. Because of the large amount of money, I'm going to take the money and buy gold bullion and put the gold into my very secure gun safe," he says. Now, when the Federal Reserve announced their plan, I understood that they were implicitly guaranteeing all the deposits in the entire system. But that is only because I am constantly writing about this stuff. Needless to say, most Americans don't get the message, and so now Bill Ackman is calling on officials to explicitly guarantee all of the deposits in the entire system. He said, "Our economy will not function effectively without our community and regional banking system. Therefore, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC, needs to explicitly guarantee all deposits now. Ours matter," Ackman said. "We need to hear from our government, that it's explicitly committed to preserving our system of smaller banks. While each small bank is not systematically important, like JP Morgan or Citi, collectively they are, as if not more, systematically important." What will explicit guarantee work? Will it work? Maybe. But what our leaders have tried so far has definitely not worked. On Monday, Joe Biden publicly declared that the American people could have confidence that the banking system is safe, but that certainly did not assure anyone. Instead, regional bank stocks plummeted so dramatically that trading in dozens of them had to be temporarily halted. Trading was temporarily halted in dozens of regional banks this morning as shares fell up to 75% when the market opened after Joe Biden claimed U.S. banking is safe. The Biden administration has made it very clear that investors are not going to be bailed out when any of these banks fail, and the carnage that we witnessed on Monday is absolutely staggering. Now, San Francisco, First Republic shares lost 61.8% on Monday after declining 33% last week. PacWest Bancorp dropped 45%, and Western Alliance Bancorp lost more than 47% as regional bank stocks fell sharply. Zions Bank Corporation shed 26%, while KeyCorp fell 27%. Other financial firms were also under pressure as Bank of America slipped 5.8%, while Charles Schwab tumbled more than 11%. Unless federal officials explicitly guarantee all of the deposits in the entire system, people are going to keep pulling money out of small and mid-sized banks, and stock prices will continue to fall. At this point, even CNBC Jim Cramer can see that this crisis is definitely not over. He says it's so easy to transfer money to the banks that are not in trouble that we have to deal with something which says you cannot move, period. End of story, Cramer said. So it's not over. I do want to caution that if you have money in some of these banks, well, they're obviously going to punish you We don't know which ones are which, obviously, and I don't want to cause any run. It is easy for any of us to cause a run at this moment, he said. Thanks to rapidly rising interest rates, Treasury bonds worth thousands of billions of dollars that are owned by U.S. banks have declined in value dramatically. This has left $620 billion hole that will not fill anytime soon. Fallout from Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, collapse has directed attention to a $620 billion ticking time bomb in the banking system that has the potential to spell doom for the financial system. SVB's meltdown has partially caused a chasm between its assets and what they were worth in the market. Eventually, SVB sold some of those assets, spooking investors and triggering a run on the bank. But SVB is not alone, as banks across the U.S. are sitting on $620 billion in unrealized potential losses at the end of last year, per the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC. Meanwhile, there is a much bigger problem that's looming. As Michael Hudson has astutely observed, a major derivatives crisis is possibly brewing. There is even larger elephant in the room, derivatives. Volatility increased last Thursday and Friday. The turmoil has reached vast magnitudes beyond what characterized the 2008 crash of AIG and other speculators. Today, JP Morgan Chase and other New York banks have tens of trillions of dollars valuations of derivatives, casino bets on which way interest rates, bond prices, stock prices, and other measures will change. For every winning guess, there is a loser. When trillions of dollars are bet on, some bank trader is bound to wind up with a loss that can easily wipe out the bank's entire net equity. If the current chaos in the financial world causes the derivatives bubble to finally implode, it could potentially be an extinction-level event for our deeply flawed financial system. I have not written about the derivatives bubble in a while, but it truly is an existential threat of our entire society. According to Investopedia, the total size of the derivative market has been estimated to be over $1 quadrillion on the high end. The derivatives market is, in a word, gigantic, often estimated at over 1 quadrillion in the high end. How can that be? Largely because there are numerous derivatives in existence available on virtually every possible type of investment asset, including equities, commodities, bonds, and currencies. Some market analysts even place the size of the market at more than 10 times that of the total world gross domestic product, the GDP. When this mountain of risk finally comes undone, there won't be enough money in the entire world to fix it. Anyone that tells you that our financial system is fundamentally sound is lying to you. We are really on the verge of the unthinkable, and so you better hope that our leaders are able to find a way to rescue the system before it's too late. And this is by Michael Snyder, about the author. My name is Michael, he says. My brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books that are available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing. And one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I really need the help getting these warnings out into the hands of as many people as possible. I have published thousands of other articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and The Most Important News. And the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely great help. These are such troubled times, and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. This is on the Economic Collapse blog by Michael Snyder. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.